Well, I am so impressed with Kaleidoscope. I know it's in its 37th year, and I love that women from the community have come to spend the day with each other and take care of themselves. It was terrific. It was a fun, fabulous day. I don't get an opportunity to speak with such big groups of women very often, and so when I do, I try to seize the opportunity to talk about issues that are really important to me, particularly issues that pertain to young girls. I was once one, and most of the women in the room, or all of the women in the room, were once a young girl, and most of them probably have little girls in their lives, and so I try to convey messages and stories about some of the things that I've seen vis-a-vis young girls, with the hope that perhaps some of the women in the room may be moved to act and do something to change or help the situation. I think that we are experiencing a time in history that is so disgustingly partisan, and I certainly don't think it's been helped in any way by the media. In fact, I think it's been exacerbated because there's so much media, and because the highest rated shows are shows that pit the most arch conservative and the most ardent liberal against each other. That fuels this kind of partisan bickering, and really it's at a point where it's completely uncivil. And I really hope that our community, politicians, our journalists really kind of get back to a place where we can actually have civil dialogue and respect each other's opinions and voices. I may not have to agree with you, or I may not agree with you, but at least I respect why you may feel the way you do. I'm always optimistic. I'm always optimistic about everything. We are, I think, in a period, as far as journalism is concerned, where we've kind of reached lowest common denominator. And I think that's really disappointing. And my hope is that ordinary Americans will start speaking out, and more young people may feel empowered to go and pursue stories. There's a reason why NPR, for example, is experiencing its highest numbers ever, because I think people are hungry for good storytelling and they're not finding it on their news. I think that there's so much negative news out there that I understand people's desire to want to see things that are light or to escape a little bit. But by the same token, I think it's important, it's a responsibility of our news organizations to cover news, to cover what's happening in the world. I mean, there was nonstop wall-to-wall coverage of the royal wedding when hundreds of people have been killed in the American South as a result of these tornadoes. There was a shuttle launch today that I think was grounded, but still, I mean, it's a huge moment in American history, but yet all of the attention was directed toward the frivolity of a wedding of this aristocratic class that none of us can relate to. And I understand. I mean, look, I definitely was curious about it. I wanted to wake up in the morning and watch it. But by the same token, I don't think that our news needs to cover this ad nauseum. Well, I'm deeply appreciative of the reception of the audience here at MSU and all the people who attended the Kaleidoscope event. It was really, really fun, and I've had conversations with a number of women after the event, and I think they really found some important aspects of what I had to say, and I hope that they retain some of the things that I talked about and may possibly implement some of these stories in their own lives somehow.